Next, we get into another non-negotiable. The other thing that if you avoid doing this, you gon' die. You don't sleep, you gon' die sooner. You don't do this next step, you gon' die sooner. And that's hydration. Again, another seemingly obvious option here, but we want to talk about not only the importance of hydration, but specifically how to hydrate and how to make sure that your body has all of the fundamental chemicals, as well as you could just say physiological benefits that come from hydration itself. So hydration is the second pillar to enhance productivity. Again, in our monk mindset method, we're working from the ground up. With these pillars, we are building the foundation so that your physical and subtle body, or your mind, is in prime condition to facilitate the greatest charity and focus possible. The Journal of American College of Nutrition published a study where the author reviewed previous research on the effects of dehydration on cognitive performance and concluded that even mild dehydration can impair cognitive function, including attention, memory, so many, you name it. In practically every single metric, you're declined when you are dehydrated. The reason hydration is so impactful is because the human body is composed mostly of water. Every cell, tissue, and organ needs water to function correctly. Water is essential for maintaining bodily functions such as eliminating waste. Again, 85+% of functions in the body, you got to have some proper hydration. So it's simple. If you're not drinking enough water and that water's not quality, you're going to see the difference there. Let's look at the 3 areas of hydration according to at least the Ayurvedic perspective. Many other holistic healing practices address these 3 areas as well, and that's quality, quantity, and temperature. Yep, I said temperature. So the quality is pretty obvious. At the same time, there's not a lot of awareness in terms of what is quality water and how do I get quality water. As water flows down mountain streams, it's charged with prana, or the cellular life force, chi. There's a bunch of different words for what we can use, but it's life. It's functionally life force, which gets energized through nature, through the sun and the moon and other functions of nature. As soon as chemicals are added or water is filtered or remineralized, its pranic intelligence is lost. So this life force is getting removed as well. Similarly, the longer of the time from the that you take the water and it sits there, also the prana can be diminished over time. Therefore, anyone who is serious about supporting their health and energy should drink. I'm not going to should on you often, but when we talk about should, we're just talking about unanimously accepted beneficial practices. Therefore, anyone who's serious about supporting their health and energy should drink natural spring water or real water, because that's what water's original composition looks like. There are some brands that we can focus on, like Mountain Valley, Fiji, Eternal, Icelandic, Sharky. Depending on where you're at in the world, there's going to be access to different natural spring water, but these are some of the primary ones that you look at. Again, as soon as you start to fill, these reverse osmosis systems, the challenge then is it's going to be better than tap water, which, don't even get me started about tap water. It's a really easy way for you to lower your lifespan is drink tap water. We could have a whole other session on that, but the cool thing, a lot of these things, you could Google it, you'll find a lot of data supporting that. Anyways, don't drink tap water. But even if you're doing just reverse osmosis, the challenge is you've just lost all of the mineralization that water naturally has, what to speak of the life. So your body, it's going to absorb so much less than it would with real water or spring water as it goes through and goes through. Now, there is a caveat here, making sure that if you're getting water from a spring that's not been properly regulated or certified, that could be a problem as well, because there are obviously toxins that can be infiltrating the water source and going to poison or contaminate your body as well. So make sure that you're getting it from a quality source, like many of these here, especially something like Mountain Valley, which serves their products in either glass or metal. You're going to have much less potential for harm there. Whereas in plastic, specifically thin plastics, there's going to be some leaching and some toxins. So the idea is go get some water. Most places you could probably drive to a spring and fill it up there and then go home, get 5 gallons. make sure that you're drinking some quality water. The other area that we're looking at here is the quantity of the water. So there's different opinions. Ayurveda is very interesting because when it talks about water, it says drink when you're thirsty. Like that's how you drink. When you're thirsty, you drink water because that's your body's way of telling you. There's a slightly more systematized approach that you can take, and that is if we're working with body weight in pounds. Take half of your body weight, take that number. So I'm about 140 pounds. So I'm looking to take half of that number, which is 70. I want that many ounces of water a day. Okay? Half your body weight in ounces. That's primarily what you're looking for. Right around there is where you're going to get hydration. So any less than that, usually the body is going to be more towards dehydration, if not completely dehydrated. So aim for a minimum of half your body weight in ounces. That's usually a good range for most of you. If that's not enough for some of you because you're really active, that's fine too. But really, that's like the base level. That's where we want to start. Now, temperature. This is not as frequently talked about, but whenever you're putting anything into the body, it's going to have some effect, just like the outside of the body, which is much more tough than the inside, if you haven't noticed. What you do is if you took a cold pack and put it on the arm, what happens? Everything constricts. If I took heat and put it on my skin, everything releases and expands. Why would it be any different for our internal organs? What to speak of that they're so much more delicate. So what happens is when you're drinking cold liquids, everything is constricting. That means these toxins are locking in. It also has some negative effects, cold liquids, on dampening the fire of digestion and your ability, the enzyme breakdowns and your ability to actually digest food. But it also takes much more energy and effort for your body to have to warm that water up to body temperature or closer to body temperature so you can actually process and absorb it. So what we suggest, not just we, but what these ancient practices suggest is drinking water as close to body temperature as possible to increase the absorption rate so that you can actually take as much of that in and also just it breaking down into a cellular level and actually hydrating the cells. Drink water closer to body temperature. If you're looking for more detoxification, drink water above body temperature because, again, that's going to create more space and expansion within the body that will help release toxins. So a very quick and easy way to also improve the digestion is just drinking some warm water. The colder the liquid, the more your body has to work to heat the water up so you can actually absorb and digest it. In other words, less is actually going to be processed and you're going to pee more. We do this test with many of our clients, especially those who haven't explored this. It's just take one day where you're only drinking really cold water. Notice how you feel. Note the quality of urination, how often you're peeing, et cetera, et cetera. And then the next day, do only warmer than body temperature. It's going to be a night and day difference. You'll see it. The proof of the pudding is in the tasting. So making sure that you have these three areas of your hydration covered, that's how you're going to be properly hydrated in a sustainable way.